We're continuing on Mishna Berura Siman Shin Vav, up to Seif Dalit, on Daf Sadi Chet Amud Aleph of the regular prints of your Mishna Beruras. Writes Maran, Hasocheret hapoel lishmor zra'im o davar acher. If you hire someone to guard your garden, your field, eno noten lo schar Shabbat, you cannot provide him with schar Shabbat. You're talking about a Jewish worker. Lefichach en acharayut Shabbat alav. Therefore, the responsibility of Shabbat is not on him. But if he is a week worker, Sachir Shabbat, Sachir Chodesh, or is hired for a week or a month or a year or even 7 years, noten lo schar Shabbat. Then you give him schar Shabbat, lefichach acharayut Shabbat alav. Therefore, he is responsible for the Shabbatot as well, the worker. Velo yomar lo ten li shel Shabbat, but he should not ask specifically for payment of Shabbat, making a calculation of 1/7 or 1/30 or 1/365th, and so on. He should not ask for specific payment for Shabbat. Ela omer lo ten li schar hashavua, give me my week wage or my wages for a month, for a year, whatever it is that they have agreed. Now, this leaves us with a question of what is the difference. You are paying the Shabbat payment at the end of the day, so why one is asur, one is mutar? So we have to understand, as a backdrop to this, that getting paid schar Shabbat is mutar. You know, for a goy, for a Jew is asur. Therefore, if you are on the hiring end, you could pay schar Shabbat. That's not asur. So if you have a non-Jewish worker that comes on Shabbat and does their thing, even though that they are only working on Shabbat, you could pay them. You worked so many hours, as a maid, as a worker, as a contractor of any sort. That's the job is mutar, obviously. Then you pay them on Sunday, whatever it is after Shabbat, only for work that they did on Shabbat. Whereas when you have a Jewish worker, for him is asur to get paid for Shabbat, schar Shabbat. Therefore, for you is asur to pay him, right? But that's only if the job is defined only for Shabbat. But if it is havla'ah, if it's a contract that includes Shabbat but not limited to it, then when you pay, you're not paying for Shabbat, you're paying for the job. And even though that the job includes Shabbat, it will be still mutar. Now this, as the Shulchan Aruch itself is going to discuss, is relevant when speaking about hiring a chazan for Shabbat, hiring a Baal Tokea for Rosh Hashanah, hiring babysitters for coming to shul on Shabbat, the kids program, and so on. So you have to figure out how exactly it would be mutar. So for instance, if you tell the Baal Tokea, I don't want you to, even though that you're world-class Baal Tokea, I don't want you to just appear on Rosh Hashanah with your shofar and start blowing. I want you to prepare hours before that you come. I'm makpid. I'm paying you for not just the blowing on Rosh Hashanah, but I'm paying you for all the practice that I want you to be doing as well. And there is havlah, because outside of Rosh Hashanah he's practicing, and then on Rosh Hashanah he performs and he gets. The same thing with a chazan that you could have practicing from before Shabbat and performing on Shabbat. Same is with the babysitters. You tell them, look, I want you to prepare a little bit. Don't just show up to the kids program. I wanted to have something print out or prepared for the kids from before Shabbat, and then you will have your havlah. But that at least explains what the difference is, that you could have someone hired for a week, on a weekly basis. They come and they get paid their weekly wages, because you're not paying necessarily only for Shabbat, you're paying for the whole week. Now, one more important detail over here, which is brought by Rabbi Chaskel Landau, the famous Nodab Yehuda. He was asked the following question. Now, you can't do services on Shabbat we mentioned, right? So how about, says the Shoel, a mikveh for women? You have a mikveh. People come to use the mikveh, and you have obviously a charge for it. So imagine you have 36 or 50 or whatever it is, the charge that you have for the mikveh. People pay after Shabbat. So you are getting schar Shabbat from the mikveh. How does that work exactly? So says the Rabbi Yehuda, a very creative and very fundamental yesod. Says the Rabbi Yehuda, the concept of havla'ah is not just for work done, additional work done in the time of heter outside of Shabbat, but rather it is even within things that are done on Shabbat itself, but they are mutar. Namely, if you use something of mine on Shabbat, you take an object of mine, for you to pay for that after Shabbat is absolutely mutar and is required even, right? You didn't have a shampoo or you didn't have a dishwashing soap, and you come on Shabbat and I have a brand new dishwashing soap, I give it to you, you pay for it after Shabbat. Is that asur because of schar Shabbat? No, I gave you goods worth of money, and you're paying for the goods you took. Says the Rabbi Yehuda, every mikveh experience has a mixture of services and goods. So there is the Q-tips and the soap and the shower cap, whatever it is that they have available, the kit that's provided, the goods that are being used. So you're charging for the goods that are being used, the soap and the shampoo and the material that are provided. And then there is the services that you don't lose anything. You have the mikveh, it's a warm water, all of that, and then they're using it. It's a part of what's the warm water is questionable on Shabbat. Well, there's a different question by itself, but part of it is service, part is good. So says the Rabbi Yehuda, when you are charging, it's a havla'ah of money that's mutar for you to get, and money that otherwise would be asur for you to get, but you are not charging separately for them $10 for goods, whatever X amount of dollars for the services. You're doing one charge for both of them, that's havla'ah, and that would be mutar. So that basically kind of like lays ground and sets up the foundation for the questions of schar Shabbat. Be'ezrat Hashem, tomorrow we will discuss some of the details of the Mishna Berura and the poskim as it pertains to our day and age. Have a wonderful day.